Odds are that you've seen the movie Jaws, and now every time you get into the water, you can't help but feel a bit nervous about what may be lurking unseen around you. You push these fears out of your mind, try to have fun and enjoy the waves, but you can't help yourself from looking around once in a while for a telltale shark fin. Yet it turns out that while you're worried about being attacked by a shark, the sneaky crocodile you were never expecting is already on his way to eat you. Every year, about 5 to 6 people die from shark attacks, while humans kill up to 100 million sharks, which basically is the most one-sided war since the French surrender in World War II. Yet crocodiles have been regularly making a meal out of humans at a rate of 200 times greater than sharks. And every year, crocodiles and alligators kill an estimated 1,000 people around the world. Most of those fatalities occur in Africa, though many Floridians and Australians have also met their end in the jaws of these prehistoric monsters. And we do mean prehistoric, by the way, as sharks and crocodiles are two of the only known large animal species to be so evolutionarily perfect at their jobs that they haven't evolved much since the age of dinosaurs. Also, while the dinosaurs totally wimped out and died to a measly asteroid the size of New York City, sharks and crocodiles both pretty much shrugged off the global apocalypse and survived to terrify future generations of mammals who would take over the world. Crocodiles are pretty terrifying stuff, and if you've seen our episode Shark vs. Crocodile, Who Would Win?, then you already know that saltwater crocs can grow to be much bigger than even a great white shark, reaching up to a whopping 20 feet long and weigh over 2,000 pounds. At those sizes, you're no longer dealing with a crocodile, and we don't care what scientists say here because any reptile that big is a freaking dinosaur. Scientists actually believe that crocodiles never stop growing, and their maximum lifespan is unknown. And it's believed that crocodiles simply continue growing until they've grown so large that they can no longer hunt successfully or simply succumb to disease. As if size wasn't enough, crocodiles also have the greatest bite strength of any animal in the world, with the Nile crocodile clocking in at an astonishing 5,000 pounds per square inch, which is almost 3,000 times more powerful than your measly bite. Saltwater crocodiles, which grow to be the biggest in the world, thankfully have a lower bite strength of around 3,700 pounds per square inch. That's thanks to the massive concentration of jaw muscles crocs have, which is critical for an ambush predator that needs to ensure it can grip prey and never let go. After all, crocs don't have hands, at least not yet. We're sure evolution is working on this though, since Mother Nature is apparently dead set on making crocodiles the most terrifying animal in history. So don't be surprised if crocs in the future get opposable thumbs and learn to use guns. So what happens if one of these prehistoric killers decides to make you its next snack? How can you survive a crocodile attack? Well, we have to be honest with you and just say that if you're attacked in the water, things aren't going to go well for you at all. If a crocodile happens to snatch you while you're swimming or just standing in knee-deep water, odds are incredibly low that you're going to escape with your life. If you saw our previous video on Gustav the killer crocodile, then you're already aware that this massive beast would regularly snatch fishermen who were only in water up to their knees and drag them away before they could react. In water, crocodiles are incredibly fast, and that's thanks to their massive tail and its powerful muscles. With a single flick, a crocodile can push itself off a sandbar and into deeper water, and given how powerful those jaw muscles are, there's likely little you'd be able to do about it. On land, crocodiles are much slower, though some species and smaller members are capable of surprisingly quick and short sprints. So don't get into the habit of taunting a land-bound crocodile, because if you get too close, it can and will snatch you up. The reason why survival is so unlikely if you're attacked in water is simply down to two quirks of crocodilian hunting behavior. This may be surprising to hear, but crocodiles don't actually use those massive jaws to kill, simply to maintain their grip on prey. Crocodiles are actually incapable of chewing, so while a shark will come in for a bite and then shear chunks of flesh off of you, a crocodile will latch on once and then dive deep down. Since a croc can't kill you with its jaws, it instead tries to drown you. So as soon as you're attacked, the crocodile is going to dive down as deep as it can go and then hold you there. If you do manage to start successfully fighting back though, some crocs will simply decide that better than losing their prey entirely, they'll simply take what they can. This will have the crocodile begin a feeding behavior known as a death roll, and it's basically exactly what it sounds like. The crocodile maintains its grip on the prey and then simply uses its powerful muscles to twist around over and over again, eventually shearing off large chunks of flesh. Crocodiles in danger of losing their prey have been known to engage in this behavior, and we don't have to tell you that this isn't going to end very well for you or your limbs. So So, the first step in surviving an attack is to simply avoid it altogether. Never go swimming in unfamiliar areas or places that have been marked as unsafe for swimmers. No, ignoring that no swimming sign isn't going to make you look like a cool rebel that society can't keep down. It's just going to turn you into gator bait. Crocodiles and alligators tend to live around the tropical areas of the world, so make sure if you visit or live in those areas, you always stay within designated safe swimming zones. And if you live in Australia, the best way to avoid a crocodile attack is to simply never leave the house. Seriously. Australia is a madhouse of all the world's deadliest animals and insects, and human beings have no business living there. So just stay indoors and upload your consciousness to the Matrix, where the wildlife can't get to you. You should always be careful when around the habitat that crocodiles inhabit. This means that swampy or marshy area and can include lakes, ponds, rivers, estuaries, canals, and even swimming pools, as many Floridians regularly discover. You'll usually find crocs in slow-moving water that has a lot of mud and vegetation, which provides the perfect opportunity for an ambush predator like a crocodile to attack from. However, saltwater crocodiles aren't so named for nothing, and they can be found on ocean beaches and even in open water. If you're canoeing or on a boat, don't assume that you're safe, as crocodiles have been known to overturn boats and even snatch people right off a boat and drag them into the water. Lastly, try and avoid the water near dusk or at night, because this is when crocodiles are most active, though remember they can do strike during the daytime as well. If you do notice a crocodile, however, or if you perhaps happen to fall into the water with crocodiles in it, try your best to remain calm. Crocodiles are naturally attracted to small animals splashing in water, so you want to swim as quickly but as quietly and calmly as possible back to shore, while causing as little disturbance in the water as you can manage. Staying under the water is even better, as it'll reduce the amount of splash you make as you swim. Don't become panicky as you swim, and do your best to remain calm. Crocodiles, like many predators, are surprisingly wary animals. If prey seems uninjured or unafraid, it often gives many predators second thoughts about launching an attack. After all, they have evolved hunting prey that shows fear, and a prey item that shows a distinct lack of fear is often enough to shake a predator's confidence in launching an attack. This might seem silly, but from the animal's point of view, hunting is an incredibly risky activity. Any stray wound could possibly lead to infection and be fatal. An injury could prevent the animal from hunting, as could damage its teeth and claws. If the animal can't hunt, it'll starve to death, and thus predators are surprisingly risk-averse creatures. If you remain calm and collected, there's a chance a prowling crocodile might decide that you're more trouble than you're worth. If you happen to run into a crocodile on land, though, once more remain calm and then slowly walk backwards. Again, staying calm might deter an attack, but trying to make a panicked run for it will typically trigger the hunt response in most predators. At that point, you're doing exactly what its prey has always done, and the predator pretty much figures out that you're no different and pose little threat. A confident animal, however, is an animal to be feared, and the crocodile might figure that you have some defenses or a strength it's not aware of. If, however, the crocodile does snap or start to charge you, now it's time to run as fast as you can. You might have heard that you should run in a zigzag pattern because crocodiles can't zigzag very well. And this is true, they really can't, but this also makes you much slower. And if the crocodile is smart enough to stay on a straight trajectory, it'll outrun you. On land, crocodiles can top out at around 10 miles an hour, and you'll be able to outrun that no problem if you simply run straight. If a croc nabs you though, then it's time to fight back and fight hard. Crocodiles are covered in a thick armor plating of hard scales, and underneath that is nothing but thick muscle. Even if you have a knife, you're simply not going to do much damage to a crocodile, and they've been known to resist even high-caliber bullets, such as those from a 7.62mm rifle. Instead, you're going to want to go for the first obvious vulnerable spot on the crocodile, which are the eyes. While a croc's eyes are protected by a nictitating membrane that protects it from water debris, it won't be enough to prevent you from placing a well-aimed eye gouge. If your hands are free and you can reach, the best thing to do is dig your fingers as deep into its eyes as you can manage, though even just kicking at the eyes has been known to get a crocodile to let go. Again, crocodiles, as any other predator, don't want to risk permanent damage on a single hunt. It's just not worth it, and if the crocodile's afraid of losing its eyesight, it'll more often than not let go. Gouging or kicking at the eyes has saved many lives in the past. If you can't quite reach the eyes though, then concentrate on striking the top of the head, closer to where the jaws begin. If you're a bystander in a crocodile attack, grab a stick or even just use your fists and wail away at the croc's head. Like any animal, crocodiles don't much like having their bell rung. Let's say the worst has come to pass though, and the animal now has you under the water. It's now waiting for you to drown, and your best chance to survive the attack at this point will be to return the favor. Crocodiles have a structure in the back of the mouth just behind the tongue known as the palatal valve. This is a flap of tissue which completely covers their throats when they submerge, so that the animal can still have prey in its jaws and not drown itself by having water pour down its throat. You're going to ignore how terrifying it'll be to reach even deeper into the mouth of the animal and feel for this flap of tissue. Then simply strike it or grab at it. Puncturing it or even just moving it out of place will be enough to start to cause water to flow down the croc's throat, and this will automatically trigger the crocodile to let go of you so it doesn't drown. There you have it, our easy-to-follow steps on how to survive a crocodile attack. Now there's only one thing to do, get out there and test them. Just kidding, seriously, follow our advice and stay out of the water in the wild. If you're longing for the beach, just throw some sand in your tub and splash around in it, because nobody has ever been attacked by a crocodile in their own bathtub. How would you try to survive a croc attack? Have you ever known someone who was attacked by a crocodile or an alligator? Why do humans continue to taunt Mother Nature's wrath by living in Australia? Let us know in the comments section, and as usual, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more great content.